Have you ever wondered what is the worst IDE in this world? Well, me too. So today I'm going to show you what is the worst IDE that you can find in this world. First things first, the worst IDE is CodeBlocks, and I have several reasons for it. But first we must see the download experience, because everything that's correlated to an IDE starts from the moment that you download it to the moment when you uninstall it. Okay, so I'm on this Windows 8.1 virtual machine, and I can basically download everything on it. So we are going to start Chrome, and here we have this CodeBlocks website. That's their main website, and here we must go to the download section. In the download section it gets a little bit complicated because we have a few options like the download the binary release or the source code, but we are going to go with the binary release, and now we'll select the Windows XP Vista 7, 8 or 10. And here it gets a little bit confusing because we have a lot of files that we can download. Normally a normal user would download the setup.x file, but we must download the Ming file because it doesn't come with Ming, and if you don't take the Ming version then you can't use the C++ compiler, so it would be ineffective. So we are going to get it from SourceForge, and here we also must wait 3 seconds because that's the SourceForge website. Okay, so now after so much questions we have the CodeBlock setup file, but it doesn't end here because we must agree with the relations. We must install all of these tools because if we don't do like this then the compiler won't work most probably. And now we must wait for it to finish its installation. So after 5 minutes this CodeBlocks app finally installed. So now we are going to say no because we have to do other settings for it to work. So I've started this CodeBlocks app, and I see that it already detects the C++ compiler, but I leave you an image on the screen that on Windows 10 and newer it doesn't detect the C++ compiler, and you must go to the path section and there add the bin folder from the Ming. Okay, so apparently, as I said, on Windows 8.1 we have the Genius ZCC compiler. So now we can click OK, and the Codebox interface has opened. So now what? Well, you may be confused by these settings because I also was at first. But unfortunately I need to use CodeBlocks from now because at my high school CodeBlocks is the programming IDE that we need to use. So to create a project we need to click on create a new project, and here we have a lot of categories. As I said, this program is based on the C++, so we are going to use C++, and to use C++ properly you need to go here on this console application, and now click on go. We need to click next, select C or C++. I'll select C++, and now we need to give it a title. I have typed test. We can now see that it has this strange extension because normally we would have a CPP file, but apparently CodeBlocks is a little bit old and uses the CBP type format. And we also need to select where we are going to save it, and I chose a folder in my documents. So now we also have a lot of settings right here. You can change this if you want, but as a beginner, and this is why this programming IDE for me is a very difficult one, and I won't recommend it for anyone because it also has this strange design, and in my opinion Visual Studio is better. You have to select now multiple things that you have not installed, and you must go with the only option, that is the finish button. So in this moment we have set up the CodeBlocks, but you ask yourself now, well, where is your code? Well, CodeBlocks doesn't open your project automatically, and it also doesn't open your main CPP file over here where you can edit it. So you now must go to the sources tab, click main.cpp, and double click it, and now you will have this interface right here. As I said, this IDE is a very complicated one, and it also has some more options that I will show you. Now you might want to get the font bigger, and you can't do this via the setting because there are a lot over here and it will take a lot of time to change the font. And what you need to do is click control and plus, and that's the way that you can make it bigger. Another useless thing is this logs and others bar over here, because you can't do anything with it. You can close it if you want, because when you try to run a program, and also you must click on the build and run, because if you run normally like in like in Visual Studio, it won't work. So you have first thing first to save, to click Ctrl S, and then build and run. And when you build and run, it will appear the CMD tab instead of the normal log right here that you have in Visual Studio, showing you the result. So after it appears, you must press any key to exit it, and now you have returned to the code interface. So now you wonder, what about if I want to make a game, for example? Well, I don't know, because I haven't made a game in CodeBlocks right now, but I think that it would work properly, because it will open that CMD tab, and depends on your operating system. Most of the CMD tabs are very old, and they won't work to move those things. So I think that if you want to make an advanced programming, you won't be able to do it in CodeBlocks. And one last thing that is really annoying is the fact that every time I open it, I get this complicated interface where I have a lot of buttons that I can't use, and I have to manually open my project every time. I can't pin it or something. I have to open it, click on sources, and then it will appear right here. I have to build it again and do this every time. And also it comes with this flickering thing right here. So in the end, this is CodeBlocks. I hope that I made my point on what I wanted to say, and I think that you agree with me. So in the end, it is the worst idea in my opinion, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.